Hello again, everyone. I hope you are all doing really well. For those of you who are followers of Exela Technology, ticker symbol XELA or XELA, yesterday was an eventful trading day. From the open, the stock flew up from $2.46 to a peak of $3.09 within the first hour of trade. This is a 26% increase on the opening price. However, it did slowly taper away through the remaining time in the trading day to finish the day at the $2.60 price mark, which was still a respectable 6.5% increase on the day. Over 120 million shares exchanged hands in one of the stock's most active days in recent weeks. So what was behind all of this? Well, in short, there was some positive company news that was released, which acted as a kindling that reignited the short squeeze play for Exela Technologies among retail investors. So in this video, we are going to have a look at what this news was, as well as give an update on the short interest for Exela Technologies, as well as revisiting some of the company's financials and doing a small technical analysis. But before I do that, I want to quickly mention something that I wouldn't normally say until the end of the video, but I think it is worth promoting from the start, given that many viewers tend to drop off partway through the videos. That is, I have announced that I am planning on setting my channel up as a social enterprise going forward, with the idea being if and when the channel does become monetized, I want to move profits from the channel towards causes that I'm passionate about. So by watching videos and following the channel, people are helping make a difference at no financial cost to themselves. I think it's a great opportunity to use YouTube for good and make a difference to some causes which I feel passionate about, and I'm sure others do as well. So I encourage you to subscribe and be a part of all of that. With that out of the way, let's get into the trading update for Exela Technologies. So to start with, I just want to give you a very quick look at the 1 minute candlestick chart for yesterday's trade, so you can appreciate the rocketing start to trade the stock got off to. So it jumped up that much in the first few minutes. Following further rises in the price, the stock did start to decline sort of steadily through the day. The stock only went into overbought territory on 2 occasions, at the start of the day and then around the time very briefly when it hit its peak price. Just for some perspective, this is how the stock has been trading for the past month roughly, since it first became a bit of a target for a short squeeze attempt. After hitting a peak of $5.45 on the 13th of July, the stock has been slowly declining since. The fact that the candlesticks have spent a lot of time away from the moving average is a reflection of the high volatility the stock has been experiencing in recent trade, making it difficult to establish new trading ranges for the stock. One last thing I want to show, I have removed the RSI and replaced it with the volume of trade on this same hourly chart. As you can see, there was a definite uptick in trade activity yesterday, especially when you compare it to the levels of trade that was seen throughout the duration of the stock's decline. Obviously, this still pales in comparison to what was seen during the heights of the last attempted short squeeze in the stock. Still, overall yesterday, about 127 million shares changed hands in the company, which is more than double the entire float. So pretty impressive trading volume, all things considered. So obviously coming into yesterday, Exela Technologies had found itself once again on the list of most shorted stocks. It had fallen from this list in recent trading days. However, it had crept back onto the list, sitting currently at 6th position at 36.12% of the entire outstanding float being currently shorted. What is worth noting is the large scale in shorts trading that occurred yesterday. Yesterday's rally saw the largest shorts trade numbers for the stock in 7 trading days, with a shorts volume of 54.5%, which means more than half of yesterday's trades were actually short sales. While the borrow fee at 15% is not massive, it's not cheap either. This means for a short squeeze to likely work, Exela Technologies is going to have to see sustained or continued rising prices in the stock before it starts to hurt the short sellers that are holding onto their position. The big question is, can it continue its upward momentum in the coming days? To me, I'm not so sure. Many who are long or at least playing the short squeeze are going to be hoping to see good numbers in the upcoming financial results, which are due out around the 9th of August, which I'll talk a little bit about very soon. But in short, I don't know if this kind of upward momentum will last that long for this stock. And I'm also not expecting hugely amazing things from the company's upcoming results. Like I said, we'll talk about that more pretty soon. One more candlestick chart I want to finish with. I have zoomed in to look at the last 7 trading days with a half hourly chart. I have drawn a rectangle to put the short positions into perspective. So the rectangle covers shorts traders which would be currently under pressure. Basically any shorts trades that were put in on Friday or Monday, it is possible that some of the high shorts trading we saw yesterday returned shares as the session went on, as there was a decline in the price. For this short action to continue, i.e. this rectangle to get bigger, I think you would want to see prices at least rise above and stay above the $2.80 mark in Wednesday's trade. The higher the better, obviously, as this will drive up the borrow rate and capture a lot of the short action that is still remaining in the stock from yesterday and would enlarge the rectangle to look a little bit more like that. In a promising sign for short squeeze players, there was a bit of a bump up in the aftermarket trade, basically taking the closing price to being 10.25% up on the day, finishing at $2.70 per share. Hopefully that momentum can flow into Wednesday's trade. Moving on to the news item that was the catalyst behind yesterday's trade. So this is the release from Exela Technologies yesterday that sparked the stock rally. It is an announcement that has headlines that are eye-grabbing.
1, 2, 3, go!
With 99% growth in its digital mailroom offering and 144% in Drysign services being sold. So these figures do look quite impressive on the surface, but I would read them carefully. The 2 points I will make is that the headline growth figures do not provide much in terms of the scale of growth. Therefore, if I had 10 customers using digital mailroom one quarter and this increased to 20 in the next, that would account for a doubling in growth, which is pretty much 99%. So I would want to look at the scale of this growth with hard numbers rather than percentage increases. This is also important because the cost of these services is actually not that expensive. So you want to see some significant scale to the sales numbers. The other point I will mention is that Drysign, which is a service that is very similar in function to other digital signature software such as DocuSign, may have sales numbers which are even slightly more misleading. So when you look a little deeper at the digital mailroom offering from Exela Technologies, it looks like Drysign is actually a part of their standard plans. So what does this mean? Basically, when you look at those growth numbers, I will be hoping that that 144% growth figure for Drysign is not being conflated with the digital mailroom sales, as this would change the reality of these numbers even more significantly. So really what I would like to see is the sales and monetary numbers behind this growth. It's worth pointing out that it is not uncommon to hear of small cap companies putting out bullish releases like this that do give a somewhat misleading take on how they are traveling as a company. So you really need to be careful when interpreting these sorts of releases. I really just want to see some concrete numbers behind these figures and know if the two growth figures are indeed conflated, as this I believe will give a lot more meaning to what is in this press release. Finally, just taking a glance at the company's balance sheet, I have covered this in more depth in earlier videos, but based on their Q1 results, the company does not have strong books. They have a tangible book value of negative $26.70 per share and total equity of negative $940 million, which looks very different to the $2.60 share price and $155 million market cap the company currently has. The company does have a lot of cash on their books at the moment and are looking to deleverage. It's very much for this reason that I have only been day trading the stock and not looking to add it to my portfolio longer term. I really want to see some improved financial data from the company, and while the recent press release does sound good on the surface, I want to see some more concrete numbers behind those percentages. I guess I'm going to still be waiting until sometime in August to get answers to these questions. So my final thoughts I think are pretty clear. I will not be investing in the stock until I see improved financial statements, which are due to come out August 9th. So I'll be looking at those with a bit of interest. In the meantime, I will still possibly day trade the stock if the right opportunities present. At the moment, it is quite volatile. Might be a chance to catch a bit of the short squeeze wave up. Yeah, so I'm kind of steering clear of Exela Technologies at the moment, generally speaking. Anyway, what do you guys think? Will the short squeeze continue? Do you think Exela will present much improved financial statements in August? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video useful or interesting, I would encourage you to leave a like. It's a great way to help out a smaller channel like my own. Also, if you want to see more Exela Technologies or other stock related content, I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I have announced that I am planning on setting up my channel as a social enterprise going forward, and I'd really like to see as many of you follow along for that as possible. I think it's a great way that we can use our time on YouTube for some further good. Also, you can just subscribe if you want to see more stock related content, because I will be still putting these videos out more or less every day. Anyway, that's about it for me. Thanks for watching. May the markets trade in your favor. See you later.